Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'll start with the name of Allah, uh, preventer of harm, and I pray that, O my Lord, expand for my heart and ease for me my task, and untie the knot from my tongue, that they may understand my speech. Right? Today we will discuss market failure and government intervention. First, we will discuss the content of this lecture. First, we'll discuss what is market failure, then we will see conditions to achieve allocation efficiency. Then we will discuss the role of government, public good. Then we study what is public good, what is merit goods, what are demerit good. Um, what are demerit goods, right? First, we see what is market failure. When a society fails to achieve a society's goal, right? One might think that if the only objective is to achieve economic efficiency, a competitive market is better left alone. This is sometimes, but not always the case. In some situations, a market failure occurs because prices fail to provide the proper signals to consumers and producers. The unregulated competitive market is inefficient. That is, it does not maximize aggregate consumers and producer surplus. Market failure arises because of imperfect information. Market failure may arise with age, race, or gender discrimination that results in unequal treatment for some workers. Such discrimination destroys the incentive to use labor resources efficiently and undermine the value placed on equal treatment for workers. Market failure also arises when the cost minimizing effort of business operating with the profit motive leads to pollution or other problem that must be dealt with by society. Times market is fail to allocate resource efficiently, provide goods beneficial to society, stop production and consumption of harmful. Um, There are two important instances for market failure, which is externality and lack of information. We'll discuss one by one later, but let's see because of this failure, government needs to influence the decision of market. Um Government can influence in this way, like one role of government is to establish the role of gain or set the legal framework with which businesses and households must operate. This framework extends to all four areas of circular flow and involves such matter as the definition of property rights, contracts, standard of fair competition, and court procedures. While keeping business ownership in private hands, government sometimes intervenes through government regulation. Government commission may oversee and become involved in managerial decisions that range from pricing and profit to availability of services. Sometimes government intervene in production and resource market by protecting workers and wages. Government taxing and spending policy influence economic activity in several ways. In input market, government can intervene through wages and hour legislation. Businesses, government can intervene through corporate income taxes, law protecting competition, and public utility regulation. At output market, government can intervene to purchases of goods and services, tariffs and quotas, law protecting consumers. In in households, government can intervene through personal income taxes, welfare payments, and inheritance law. Now we will discuss condition to achieve allocative efficiency. First we think that the consumers knows best. Then we will discuss perfect information, perfect mobility of factors, perfect mobility of factors again. Perfect competition, no externalities, no public good. Um, when we discuss when consumers knows everything, it means that consumers has sovereignty. Consumers are the best judge for what is good for them. Imperfect information. Consumers are well informed, enabling them to make sensible decisions. Uh, Perfect mobility of factor means factors of production must shift into the activities that best represents the consumer's wants and needs. In perfect competition, firms must be price taker. You all must know the assumptions of perfect competition, where goods are identical, numerous buyers and sellers are in large number, freedom of entry and exit. Fair income distribution means that the market forces set the wage rates from different professions. High demand for doctors, low supply, so doctors get a high wage. There is a demand for supermarket worker, but the high supply of potential supermarket workers pushes the wages rate of supermarket market workers down. There will be no externality. We will be discussing externality in separate chapter, but let's recall, let me tell you the definition of externality. Let's assume sometimes the exchange of either consumers or producers results in either cost or benefit that do not show up as a part of market price. Such costs or benefits are called externality because they are external to the market. We assume that there will be no public good. Public good, we will discuss in public good separately, but let me explain the definition. Public goods are the goods provided for all society with there is no excluded, no one is excluded from use of public good, and there will be no rivalry. So there are six uh, requirements to get allocated efficiency. If these six conditions are not met, we will say that there is a market failure. Let's assume in New Zealand, this is a production possibility curve of New Zealand, where you can see this point, which is inefficient. It is because of the six conditions are not met always. So, the society always producing inside the production possibility curve. In order to achieve efficiently, society must fill some of the conditions. Uh, the sources of market failure, we will discuss the sources of market failure in the next video.